So UQ as damage, or also known as DPS, you played some games already but you aren't sure which hero fits you best. Tier lists aren't help you either, as they just list the most overpowered heroes at the moment. Today we'll go over every single DPS in Overwatch 2, I'll go over their strength and weaknesses and give them a rating out of 5 stars for each category. So damage, mobility, ultimate, and fun. Let's start with Ashe. For damage, I give her 3 stars. Ashe does a moderate amount of damage. She highly relies on hitting the dynamite combo where you throw the dynamite and shoot it. Her gun also hits for about 22 to 75 damage per shot. All in all, Ashe isn't the worst DPS out there, but I just feel like there are better hit scans heroes at the moment. For mobility, Ashe gets 2 stars. Her coach gun can be used to gain distance between you and the enemies or to gain high ground. The ability has a 10 seconds cooldown though, so you're fairly immobile when coach gun is down. Plus, the distance it gives you isn't as big as other heroes' movement ability. For her ultimate, I give her 4 stars. Bob is literally another player on your team. It's a 6v5 at that point. Bob is quite unique, he has a massive amount of health and can be sent to the waypoint and contested on its own. Bob will shoot at targets in his line of sight and can be healed by your supports as well. For her ultimate only, she deserves 4 stars, as adding 1 player to the team while contesting can be game changer. For the fun aspect, I give her 3 stars. Gameplay wise, if you play on a map with a lot of choke points, you can sit there and repeatedly dynamite into a full team. Otherwise, I don't think she's that fun. Not the most boring though. Oh my, Bastion. For damage, I give him 1 star. Bastion isn't comparable to other hit scans. You rarely see him and there's a reason for that. He's awful. Blizzard changed his kit and made him useless. For mobility, Bastion gets 1 star as well. He has no movement ability, no speed up, no blink, nothing. It doesn't make sense for me to give him more when some heroes are climbing walls and teleporting across the map. For his ultimate, I give him 3 stars. Hear me out. When used properly with another utility ability and or ultimate, Bastion will literally wipe you out. He's not getting more than 3 stars though, because his ultimate relies way too much on his team and it's easily avoidable. For the fun aspect, I give him 5 stars because, no, but honestly 2 stars for Bastion. He isn't that fun to play, gets counted by half the other DPS on the list and has a boring kit. I don't know, Bastion used to be kinda fun in the old days, now you don't see him. He isn't picked at all. I didn't play with or against Bastion in comp so far. Speaks for itself. Next is Cassidy or McCree for the old timers. For damage, I give him 4 stars. He deals a crazy amount of damage. The only reason he doesn't get 5 stars is that it highly varies on your skill level. Hit your shots, he'll wipe out a squishy target with 1 headshot and 1 body shot. Pretty insane how much damage a good Cassidy player's outputs. For mobility, Cassidy gets 2 stars. You can use combat roll to gain some distance, but not a huge amount. It's usually used to dodge an ability or bullet. Since the distance isn't big and won't get you out of trouble, it deserves the rating. For his ultimate, I give him 2 stars. The sound effect when Cassidy is about to ult is so loud and everyone knows it. Once you hear it's high noon, you know you're about to die. You can crouch behind any object, hide behind a wall, or just stand behind Ryan's shield. Yes, it does a lot of damage if you pull it off, but there are too many counters out there. I used to see high noon wiping out an entire team. Now it's 1 kill, maybe 2 if you're lucky, per ultimate. For the fun aspect, Cassidy deserves 4 stars. There's just something about playing a cowboy with the revolver. As long as you hit your shots, Cassidy is fun and is unique in his playstyle. Also, when you use your ultimate, you hear that iconic voice line and your screen turns gray. I don't know, it gets me every time. Next is Echo. For damage, Echo gets 3 stars. Her kit outputs a decent amount of damage. It's actually surprising. If you hit 6 bombs on someone, that's 180 damage. You just killed Tracer with 1 ability. Her primary fire has also a decent range and damage. She is rarely at the top of the damage chart, but does enough to help the team out. For mobility, I give her 5 stars. I mean, guys, she flies. What else can I give her? She flies for 3 seconds and can glide down like Farah. She is constantly up in the air and can flank you without you ever noticing. For her ultimate, Echo gets 5 stars. No question asked. She mimics a hero on the enemy team. Imagine having 2 Winstons on your team jumping everywhere. If used properly, Echo's ultimate is a game changer. You need to mimic a hit scan to shut down their Farah for a final push. Easy. You need to mimic a tank to contest card at the last second installed for your team. Done. For the fun aspect, I give her 3 stars. The kit itself deserves 5 stars. Flying around the map, sticking bombs on the enemy team's DPS and mimicking whoever you want is so fun. I recommend you try it. However, Echo is easily countered by hit scans, especially Soldier 76. And since Soldier 76 is a popular pick right now, playing Echo isn't fun at the moment. Next is the crowned S tier DPS of the moment, Genji. For damage, I gave him 5 stars. Enough said. This guy throws 3 shuriken, uses swift strike, adds 1 melee and you're dead. The sheer amount of damage Genji outputs right now is ridiculous. He needs a nerf. He's about to get nerfed. We don't know when exactly, but it's coming. For mobility, Genji gets 5 stars as well. Swift strike can be used to completely disappear out of someone's line of sight. He also has a double jump and climb walls. Genji is the definition of mobility on foot. He's hands down the most mobile DPS. For the fun aspect, Genji deserves 5 stars. Jumping around, climbing walls, reflecting damage back is actually pleasant. Annoying if you're on the other team, but I understand why Genji players like him so much. A mobile DPS that counters hit scan pretty hard while playing don't touch the floor. What else can you ask for? Next is Hanzo, Genji's older brother. For damage, I give him 3 stars. Good Hanzo players are at the top of the damage chart. His arrows are hard to land and require some practice. For short range bursts, his storm arrows are a reliable and good source of damage. Only caveat is you have to hit your arrows. Hanzo is the most difficult DPS out there right now. For mobility, Hanzo gets 2 stars. He also has the ability to climb walls and to double jump. However, these aren't the best way to escape to safety. It's usually used to get a better angle on a squishy target. Still, overall, not bad mobility. For his ultimate, I give Hanzo 3 stars. Dragon Strike deals a lot of damage, around 1000 if you stand in it. However, who does? You hear it coming, you see 2 big dragons coming at you, you step to the side and you just dodged it. Hanzo's ultimate is like Cassidy's, super loud with a distinct sound effect and easily dodgeable. For the fun aspect, Hanzo deserves 4 stars. In my opinion, Hanzo is like Cassidy but with a bow. Think about it. Not too mobile but not on Bastion's level either. High damage for players that are hitting their shots and an ultimate that is outstanding. The rush you get when you land a headshot on a squishy target is unmatchable. Next is Junkrat. For damage, I give him 2 stars. Yes, Junkrat's damage is ridiculous, but it also so unreliable. You spam choke point and hope that someone dies. Plus, his grenades struggle massively at medium to long range. They're a better option if you like to play close range like Tracer and Reaper. For mobility, Junkrat gets 3 stars. His concussion mine launches him far away from danger or in the middle of it. It's versatile but hard to use properly, as you need to decide if you want to use it for damage or to get yourself out of a picky situation. That being said, the distance is quite big, so it deserves a 3. For his ultimate, I give him 2 stars. The tire itself is good, but come on, it has 100 HP and can be destroyed easily. If you can destroy it, it doesn't go through shield, so just stand behind your tank. Also, while Junkrat is controlling the tire, he is immobilized, making him an easy target for flankers. For the fun aspect, Junkrat deserves 3 stars. Try playing Junkrat on a map where the enemy team has to be funneled. It will be a blast. Seeing those grenades bounce everywhere is pure enjoyment. On an open map, do not pick Junkrat. He is easily countered by hit scans and Pharah. I mean, good luck hitting a grenade on a Pharah. Next is one of my personal favorite, Mei. For damage, I give her 2 stars. She's one of the lowest damage dealer on this list. However, whatever Mei lacks in damage makes up for with her utility. But me and you, we queue up as DPS. If I want a utility, I'll play something else, right? But if you're someone who likes to have a little bit of utility, you might want to try her out. Don't expect to be the top fragger though. For mobility, Mei gets 1 star. Simple choice, she has none. She's in the same basket as Bastion. However, I would argue that she would still better off as her wall can make up for the lack of mobility. But even after walling herself away from danger, she is still immobile. For her ultimate, I give her 4 stars. I love Mei's Blizzard. Freezing a whole team for almost 5 seconds is insane. While they are frozen, Mei can easily hit you with icicles for bonus damage as you can't move or use abilities. Also, if you combine her ultimate with something a little bit more damage focused like a Pharah's Barrage or a Reaper's Death Blossom, it's an easy wipe. For the fun aspect, Mei deserves 4 stars. Although every other DPS on the list can outdamage you in close, medium, and long range, walling off people is amusing. Try walling off a charging Reinhardt and see him charge right into your wall. If you play her correctly, Mei's kit is entertaining. I feel like Blizzard did a good job of mixing damage and utility and fun on this one. Next is Pharah. For damage, I give her 4 stars. Her rocket launcher is a reliable source of damage. Direct impact is about 120 and explosions vary on the distance but up to 80. It's overall very good for plays that are starting, as you don't necessarily have to land the rocket to be useful. For mobility, Pharah gets 4 stars as well. She is 1 star below Echo because Pharah flying is more of a jump in the air and float. Echo is literally flying in any direction you wish. Regardless of her hovering, Pharah also has her concussive blast that boops enemy out of the map if placed correctly. If placed near her, the blast also knocks back Pharah, giving her more mobility. For her ultimate, I gave her 2 stars. Pharah's Barrage is a death sentence. You're stuck firing rockets for 2.5 seconds, all the time in the world to die. It's easily countered with Diva defense metrics or any shield. This ultimate needs to be reworked. She still gets 2 stars because it does a significant amount of damage when it's used properly. For the fun aspect, Pharah deserves 3 stars. Her kit is similar to Echo's, however, just like her flying partner, her counters make her unplayable and will leave you frustrated. Playing Pharah will have you switching often, and I don't think that it's necessarily fun. If there are no hit scans on the other team, you'd still have to worry about Ana and Batis shutting you down. Next is Reaper. For damage, I give him 4 stars. Reaper does an insane amount of damage at close range. He isn't 5 stars because he's fairly limited in terms of range. However, in tight maps, he's a monster. For mobility, Reaper is also 4 stars. Wraith form can be used to run away from dangerous situation or to chase low health targets. He is also invulnerable. It's a loaded ability. Shadow Steps teleports him to any location in his line of sight, quite good to contest high grounds. You use Shadow Step into a Widowmaker and she has to run away immediately or she dies. For his ultimate, I give him 3 stars. Reaper's Death Blossom is similar to Pharah's Barrage. You need to combine it with another utility ultimate, otherwise it's a death sentence for Reaper. He's also vulnerable while ulting. It's also countered by Diva and Lucio, just to name a few. For the fun aspect, Reaper deserves 4 stars. Contesting tight spaces or high ground is quite enjoyable. He's also an easy hero. You can pick him up and play at a decent level without mastering him. Also, lending a full team Death Blossom is so fun. Next is my favorite, Soldier 76. For damage, I give him 4 stars. Soldier has, I believe, the most reliable damage in the game. In any circumstances, there is a way for you to be effective. Also, if you manage to hit an enemy with LX rockets, you multiply the damage by almost 2. There are almost no situation where you can't do damage as Soldier 76. For mobility, Soldier 76 gets 3 stars. His sprint ability is literally just a sprint. Nothing fancy to it. You can use it to run away from a dangerous situation. You can use it to run back to the waypoint if you die. Versatile, but it's also super simple. For his ultimate, I give him 5 stars. I mean, it's a legit aimbot. What else can you ask for in a shooter? Try combining your ult with Kiriko's and you'll rate it as 6 stars even. It's amazing, versatile, it combines with any other ultimates in the game. The only downside is that it's countered if and only if you use it at the wrong time. Use it at the end of a fight, you will wipe out everyone. For the fun aspect, Soldier 76 deserves 3 stars. His kit is simple, beginners friendly, and decently fun. Genji and Hanzo are way more exciting to play. Cassidy is a cowboy with flashy moves, so that's automatically fun too. However, if you ask me, I think Soldier 76 is the most balanced and complete hero on the roster. Regardless of your team, a good Soldier 76 is self-sufficient with his heals and sprint. Next is Sojourn. For damage, I give her 5 stars. She's 1 scale above Soldier and on the same level as Genji. Sojourn is a Soldier 76 with a more complex kit. Her railgun does as much damage as Soldier's in primary fire. However, where she shines is in its secondary fire, a beam that deals way too much damage, but it's also hard to hit. Her disruptor shot does decent damage and snares target, ideal for choke point. For mobility, Sojourn gets 4 stars. Her power slide gets her out of picky situation, and if you combine it with a jump, you leap to high ground to safety. For her ultimate, I give her 4 stars. She shoots beams that can pierce enemies on a 1.2 seconds cooldown if you wait for full charge. So for 9 seconds, your damage is ridiculous. She doesn't get 5 stars because they are hard to hit. For the fun aspect, Sojourn deserves 4 stars. Her playstyle is similar to Soldier's but way more fancy if you ask me. You can leap around and pierce your enemy with headshots. There's a level of excitement that you don't get with Soldier. However, she's not self-sufficient, so if you like to rely on yourself, Soldier would be a better pick. If you play with a duo support, Sojourn would be better for you. Next is Sombra, one of the most annoying heroes. For damage, I give her 4 stars. Sombra is rarely at the top of the damage chart. However, have you been hacked and gunned down by a Sandra before? The damage on a single target is ridiculous. For mobility, Sombra gets 4 stars as well. She becomes invisible and her movement speed is increased. When she's in a dangerous situation, she can use Translocator to run back to a spot she chooses. Her mobility is unique to her, but she's definitely mobile and annoying. For her ultimate, I gave her 5 stars. It's like hack but on a whole team, plus she deals 40% of the target's current health. She also disables any shield in the area, Bob and Torbjorn's turrets for 10 seconds. For the fun aspect, Sombra gets 4 stars. Notice I didn't say she deserves it. The only thing Sombra deserves is to be nerfed and or deleted completely from the game. I hate, and I think we all hate, playing against her. Being hacked and then killed is the most frustrating experience in Overwatch 2. However, to be fair, I give her 4 stars as playing her is kind of fun. Next is Symmetra. For damage, I give her 1 star. Symmetra is so underwhelming, it's crazy. She's out damaged by everyone. She loses in close range, medium range, long range, any range. For mobility, Symmetra gets 3 stars. The teleporter is a unique and useful ability for your team. It's the only reason why she gets 3 stars, otherwise Symmetra is a sitting duck at any given moment. For her ultimate, I gave her 2 stars. It's an ability that is purely based on utility. Do I think it's good? It depends on the placement. A well-placed wall would be a great counter against some ultimate out there, but it's not as useful as I expected it to be. It's not a game changer and walking through is simple enough. For the fun aspect, Symmetra deserves 2 stars. I don't think her kit is exciting at all. Her abilities are all utility based except her turrets. In my opinion, she should be a support. She's out damage in close range, medium and long range. Any other DPS would do a better job. Next is Torbjorn, the favorite troll pick. For damage, I give Torbjorn 2 stars. His primary fire is reliable damage at close and medium range. His turrets automatically track targets and shoots them. However, his turrets are easily destroyed. They have to either be well placed or used as insurance against flankers. Either way, his damage is almost decent. For mobility, Torbjorn gets 1 star. He has a small movement speed boost with overload, but other than that, he's also a sitting duck. For his ultimate, I give him 3 stars. Molten Core is a strong ultimate when used in tight spots and on targets with armor. On a wide open map, it's basically useless. It does some damage, but it's avoidable. Underwhelming ability, in my opinion. For the fun aspect, Torbjorn gets 3 stars. Honestly, playing Torbjorn is trolling. You're running around placing turrets and hoping no one destroys them. However, when turrets aren't immediately destroyed, I guess it's enjoyable. Next is Tracer, the second most annoying hero on the list. For damage, I gave her 3 stars. She doesn't get 4 stars because it's only effective at close range. Also, it is hard to get constant value with her. She has 150 health, you sneeze on her and she's half life already. For mobility, Tracer gets 5 stars. She blinks in any given direction. We all played against her. 1 second she's behind you, the next in front of you, and the next she recalled to safety, just to come back and repeat. Safe to say she's pretty mobile. For her ultimate, Tracer gets 2 stars. Pulse Bomb isn't good. It does enough damage to low health targets, but you have to stick it on them. The ability itself is underwhelming in my opinion. Landing it on a tank is useless and it does damage to Tracer as well, so you might die from your own ability. For the fun aspect, Tracer deserves 4 stars. Running around with Blink is exciting, her gameplay is interactive, and although she might seem annoying, I think Blizzard did an amazing job balancing her. She isn't picked that often as she's hard to master. Plus, she has 150 health. Timing recall is hard in certain situations. And last but not least, Widowmaker. For damage, I give her 3 stars. She does a decent amount of damage. I would put her in the same boat as Ashe. They are both snipers per se. Widowmaker has crazy one-shot potential if you're powered to 100% and land a headshot. Her Venom Mine does up to 75 damage, so it helps her for close range encounters. Otherwise, she isn't that strong at the moment. She's just playable. For mobility, Widowmaker gets 2 stars. Her grappling hook helps her. She gains high ground easily. However, while aiming, her movement speed is decreased by 65%. Plus, the range on her grappling hook isn't big enough to run away from Genji. As I said, it's mainly used to gain high ground or some flashy mid-air headshots for a clip. For her ultimate, I gave her 3 stars. Infrasight is a wall hack. It helps the entire team as they also see through walls. It's an excellent utility ultimate and also helps Widowmaker pre-fire corners. There are stronger ultimates out there, so 3 stars is a fair rating in my opinion. For the fun aspect, Widowmaker deserves 2 stars. I don't think she's fun to play. Her kit is outdated in my opinion and not useful. If you're looking for a similar playstyle but way better utility, damage, and ultimate, just play Ashe. She's the updated version of Widowmaker in my opinion.